Alright, so we're back again because, you know what? I acknowledge maybe Goblin Slayer isn't as easy to get. Sure, you don't have to do anything, but, play, I guess. But you know what? I get it. It takes quite a bit of time to get it sometimes, which is why I have toned this down to how to beat Act 5 of Steel Ball Run if you literally started yesterday. This strat features a Marksman Weather, which you can get extremely easily just from playing the summer event. A Priestess, which is tier 25 in the Battle Pass, which you should know is not very hard to get. If you do your dailies and you play some of the game, you can probably do it in just one day. 2 Fortune Farms, which should be the first thing that you're aiming for with your rerolls. And Ackers, Unevo with Blitz. Maybe the Blitz is pushing it a little, but Ackers is a very good unit, and Blitz is a good trait for him. Again, unevo, so you don't even have to evo this guy, but you should. Although for this strat specifically, it kind of works better if he's unevo, but that's the point. I haven't pushed this further than what you can realistically achieve in 24 hours. The only thing that might be concerning is level 60, which I still think if they're not level 60, they might be able to squeeze it out. The point is, 5 slots, you should be above level 20 for this. At level 10, it's not really realistic, and at level 10, you're probably not going to be a level 25. So this is if you're like level 20, freshly unlocked that 5th slot, and for some reason Valentine is going to be your 4th unit. Yeah, this is for you. But this is mainly just because I didn't think Weather could do it. But someone told me to keep trying it with Weather. And as you can see here from the screen, my placements aren't very secure. I didn't really know where I was going to be putting stuff. But yeah, this turned out pretty well, actually. So yeah, let's go ahead and break down the strategy. The same as my last video, which, I mean, if for some reason you watched that already, thank you. I appreciate how attentive you are to the channel. But secondly, it's just going to be actually it's gonna be a little different this time. This time we're going for max Weathers, because Weather's max upgrade is actually pretty good for damage, all things considered. I mean, he kind of ekes out a little bit of that support tier with how much damage he's actually able to put out, and it's a lot of range. Now, Blitz Weather might be good as well, but I personally prefer Marksman, just because it gives me less stuff to worry about and I have to replace him less. But you know what? If you have Blitz on your Weather, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's not the best, but it is good. For this Priestess here, I did decide to roll Marksman on her, although it really did not matter. As you will see, it didn't matter. We had plenty of money left over and stuff like that. So really, if you don't want to roll Priestess, if you don't want to roll Marksman on Priestess, that is totally okay. As you can see, the Ackers has some pretty good stats. I transferred over what I had on Priestess to him. Maybe I kind of overdid it. It's a bit of an unrealistic representation for him to have Z plus just off the bat. But I hope you don't mind too much. I did my best, okay? I did my best, and I don't have the resources to throw out stuff. But Priestess only has ADA. Ideally, I don't think she wants DSPA. I think on her final upgrade it's good. She does have like 9-second stun cooldown, but I don't really want to mess with that, to be honest. I had her at 8.9 before, which was kind of bad. That means that she would just completely miss her stun, and that's just, it's not good, it's not good. Weather, of course, is at max Z+, which is not what most people will be going for, because a lot of people disregard his damage, which is totally valid. It's not very high, but all things considered, it is high, and I like having him at Z+. My normal Weather with Blitz actually has godly damage. This was not an accident. Okay, well, it was an accident, but I left it on him because I wanted him to have good damage, okay? Sue me. The JoJo character, I want the JoJo character to be good. But anyway, I'm dragging it way too much. I'm not even talking about the game, and we're at wave 20 already. That's because I had to pad it for a while, because this clear is actually quite long, to be honest. So if you might have noticed, I sped this up to just 10% extra, shaved off a minute of the run time. I didn't want it to be too long, but let's go ahead and break down this boss strategy. First, you're going to want to have your Ackers up at the top on bosses. The goal here is to have Ackers constantly on the bosses. So what I do here is I lock my Weathers and I just click sell all for ease of access. That's all you gotta do. At this corner, Diego will probably be the one who's leading the pack, which means you don't have to worry about targeting bosses anymore. Hackers will always be hitting the boss no matter what. The goal here is to stun Diego every time stun is off lockout, naturally. I like to save it when he's not invincible, but really it doesn't matter at all. So just stun whenever the lockout is done, because that way you can transition to Priestess quicker and you can use Weather's AoE more. So what I did here was admittedly unoptimal. So all we have left to do here is just whittle away at their HP. Now it is a little concerning that they're getting this far. If you don't know, Valentine has 2 lives? 3 lives? We'll see here in a bit. But yep, there goes one. And I think he already popped one prior. That's just one of the many mechanics that makes the stage kind of hard. If you have a cleanser, I recommend bring one, because the stun that Diego puts out, it's just like 4 or 5 seconds. It's nothing, but it does end up making quite the difference, and it can be really annoying. But yeah, Diego's out of here, so no more stun, which means we only have Valentine to deal with. We got through all his lives, I believe. I don't think he has another one. So that means that we just have the task of dealing the rest of this damage now. And this is when we start to bring out Priestess. Priestess stuns on placement in this pretty big AoE every 9 seconds or so is about when she should be doing it. You're going to want to make your Priestess spots good so that you don't have to replace her too often, because she is 1500 to place and we are running on borrowed yen at this point. As you can see up there, you still have the 11 men, which you'd ideally want Weather to be taking care of. So here I am delaying the boss as much as possible so that he knocks out the 11 men quickly. But in that moment that we were talking, this is Akker's doing right here. He's doing a lot of damage because his passive gives him 80% damage on placement, which means he's doing 5k on Evo every 2.8 seconds with Blitz. That's really insane, okay? I was an Akker's doubter, I'm sorry. Anyway, the 11 men are getting cleaned up right now, and so is Valentine. Valentine is getting cleaned up pretty well. I didn't mention the enemy mechanics that make this stage hard, so I'm going to do that now. Sturdy is the only challenging modifier in this. It was introduced for this. Sturdy reduces damage from all sources by 80% unless dealt by a water or nature unit, which increases it by 40%. But, yeah, I know that should have been the first thing I mentioned, but I didn't, and the clear is over now. Here I am cleaning up, putting down a Weather for a little bit of damage. If you didn't know, Upgrade 2 has some pretty good damage, but we're doing it for the bubbled, and we would just replace Akker's one last time, and there we go. That's pretty much it, yeah. So if you enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!